Welcome to yet another video on modding my Mustang. Let's get back to the garage and let's see what's in store this episode. So let's take a look at what we're going to install on the Mustang today. Now, if you watched my video on painting the calipers, which if you didn't, I'll put a link in the top right up there, so go watch that. That was quite interesting. You probably remember that I wasn't happy with the way that he jacked the Mustang up, and he just jacked it up on the actual seams, and it doesn't seem right to me. It seems a lot of stress of the whole weight of the car on that seam. So I have in this box a solution to the jacking problem. Let's open it up and let's see what we've got. And here we are. So what these are from Steeda, and I'll put a link down below in the description of where you can get these from, but these are what are known as jacking rails. Let's take a closer look. Okay, so what these are is two metal rails, as you can see like that, with a couple of holes in there and a couple of holes in there, and what they're going to do, they're going to fit inside of the seam on some of the bolts that are already there on the car. So let me show you where they're going to fit on the car. Slight change of plan now, people. A good example of a car I've been looking for has now just come up and available on Auto Trader. So I'm just going to go to look at that as a project car for the channel. So we've got the Mustang and we'll have this other car to work on if I buy it. And just close this garage door now. And even better than that, the way that I'm going to get to have a look at this car is a friend of mine is going to give me a lift in his. So I'll let you know how we get on and catch you when I get back. So I'm back, guys, from viewing the car, and I've got to say it was as good as I expected, and I've gone and bought it. So we've got a new project car coming up for the channel. I'm not going to tell you what it is in this video, so you're going to have to stay tuned to the channel, but in an upcoming video we'll reveal the car. It's just behind the camera now, I'm looking at it and it's a beauty, and we'll reveal some of the we'll have a walk around and we'll talk about it, and I'll tell you some of the projects that I've got in mind for it. But until then, let's get back to the video. So let's have a look where these bars go. So I'm laid near the front wheel of the car, so under the 5.0. So let's take you underneath and look towards the back of the car. I'm looking towards the back of the car from just below the 5.0 number. So as you can see here, there's these two bolts. So these two bolts are used for the jacking rails. And if we slide down towards the back of the car, so at the back of the car, you'll find you've got these two nuts here. So the actual jacking rail is going to use this closest to the front one, and if you just come back a little bit, you'll find there's also this hole. So the actual jacking rail is going to use that hole and the front of the two nuts there. Let me just show you something though, because they are two different sizes. So once you unpack and lay your two jacking rails next to each other, you'll find that if you put these ends the same and then you go to the other end, you'll find that you have a longer one and a shorter one. Here in the UK, the shorter one goes on the driver's side. So just hit a little problem. So driver's side one, these two here don't line up. If I get the bolts in the holes at the far end, these are just too far forward. So I'm going to have to drill these out a little bit just down there to make these holes a little bit bigger to get the bolts in. Now I've done the passenger side, and the passenger side went on with no problem. I wasn't going to film that because it's going to be exactly the same as this side, and I've set on the camera up to do this side. So let me fix this by just extending these holes here, and then we can then get this fitted on under the camera. So what I'm going to do is drill a smaller hole here, and then just enlarge it to hopefully leave a curve in that place there. So let's start here. Go a bit further back. Yeah, so there we go. I know the hole's quite big, but the actual bolt has got a massive washer on, so it's definitely going to grip that pretty well. So it should hold that in place with those two. So hopefully I've extended them enough to do that. If you're wondering what I was doing with the drill, so this is, let's focus on that. So this is a type of drill that kind of goes on the side. I don't know what they call it. No, so I don't know what they're called, but they can take off. You can push them around edges and they'll just take off the edge of the metal, which is perfect, what I wanted. So let's go now, get this fitted to the car. That's it, managed to get this on with a little bit of modification. So what you also get is a load of rubber bungs to cover the holes up where you put the bolts through. So let's just go cover those up now. And if you're still unsure what this does for you, let me show you now how easy it is to jack this car up. So using normal jack, you slide it under, just make sure the head of the jack is just under your jacking rails, and then you can just jack it up without worrying or trying to get onto the seam. Simple as that. So there we go, that's the Steeda Jacking Rails now installed. They're going to make it so much easier for me to work under this car, because I need to, some of the things I've got coming, I need to jack it up a bit higher, and I wasn't very happy to work just on those seams really. So now I've got a nice jacking rail that I can put the jacks on, and I can hold it in the air. So hopefully I still don't need to use a ramp to do these jobs, which is what I'm hoping to do, because I want to do these jobs just to show you that you could do these in your own garage without the need of all this specialist equipment such as a ramp. I mean, I'd love to have a ramp, don't get me wrong, but they're quite expensive. So I said before, these were Steeda Jacking Rails. A little bit disappointed that they didn't just fit perfectly on the driver's side. I did have to drill them, as you saw. But after that, I mean, they fit perfectly well, and they're all now installed, and, you know, they're absolutely fine. Now, you do get a load of bolts with the kit, but them bolts are quite short to the ones that I took out from the car, so I've just used the car one. So I don't know if you're supposed to replace the car ones with the ones you get, but they're twice the length, the ones in the car, and I think they must be there for a reason. I'm not sure what them bolts are, but I think they're for a reason, so I'm keeping them that long, so I'm not making them any smaller. So okay, if you've enjoyed this, then please don't forget to subscribe. I'm still aiming for that 750 subscribers by Christmas, so help me out, guys, help me get there. It's only one little click of a button for you guys. It means a lot to me, so please subscribe and give me the thumbs up if you enjoyed this. Bob's just done nothing in this video. He's just laid there, lazy as hell, but we'll probably get him doing something in the next video. And don't forget, the reveal of the new project car is coming very, very soon to this channel, so stay tuned. Until the next time, guys, stay safe.